we got to get used to the presentations coming up. I'd like to invite our first speaker is a friend of mine. I lived with this friend for years and years. Herself as well as myself. We went through a party phase together. Probably lived life together when life didn't make sense, but then it made sense. We hung out, we kicked it. Became a great friend of mine. I got married. We've both got sober. We both have careers now. Now we're here today at this event. So without further ado, for our first presentation of this evening, hi, my name is Alyssa Waters, and she'll be coming to the stage. So welcome, Alyssa, everybody. And here we go. Thank you for coming to the festival. Love that for you.
So I just want to mention real quick, there is a camera right here.
I'll get out of your way.
No, it's okay. I like to share. This is so much bigger than work. This is mission work for me. So I like to people who can't be here. I like to share these things.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Cash, for the wonderful introduction. Thank you, everybody, for coming here today.
Tech support's coming for you too. Getting that mic up, dog.
Depressed and not okay. What a wonderful community that we're building here. Like Cash said, my name is Alyssa Waters. I am a certified life, spiritual, and health and wellness coach. I'm a public speaker. I'm a performer. I'm many things, just like the rest of you. We are multifaceted. We don't fit in just one label. We don't fit in a box. So I'm really excited to be here today. I am the founder of Waters of Wisdom Life and Spiritual Coaching. It's my mission to guide others to the realization that they are the hero of their own stories. That you are the hero of your own stories. So this is usually around the time when the speaker talks about her pain to power, pain to passion story. I'm a bit unconventional. So in true fashion, I'm going to go a little bit of a different direction today. I'm going to tell you about a mystical experience that I had. And I'm going to share with you why it's important. And I'm going to help bring a connection with all of our spirits today. So there was this day last year that I came home after work and I plopped down on my bed and I have finally realized the importance of rest and stillness and restoration in my life. So I was allowing myself to do that. And my ego was a little grumpy that day, so I was a little exhausted. I probably needed to eat. I was probably a little hangry. And so I'm laying back there down, and then all of a sudden this message comes in to me, this downloaded message. And it says, "You have arrived." My grumpy ego was like, "I have arrived? What are you talking about?" And before I knew it, all of a sudden, my hands, without me instructing them, went to my heart center and said, "Here." And then without instructing my voice, my energy said, "Now." And then I started bursting out in laughter and joy, streaming tears of joy. My friends, it was an odd moment. I told you, this is a weird mystical moment. This is not a typical moment. And then I stopped and I felt a lot of pain and sorrow and grief just for a moment, and then went back to the joy and the bliss and the crying. And I had realized in that moment that I was experiencing my very favorite poem. And that poem is called "Tripping Over Joy" by Hafiz. Hafiz is a spiritual poet, and I found this poem originally in a book called "I Heard God Laughing." They're all poems by this spiritual mystical poet. And I'm going to recite it to you today, and then I'm going to explain that laughter fit. So, "Tripping Over Joy" by Hafiz. What is the difference between your experience of existence and that of a saint? The saint knows that. The spiritual path is a sublime chess game with God, and that the beloved has just made such a fantastic move that the saint is now continually tripping over joy, bursting out in laughter, saying, I surrender. Whereas, my dear, I am afraid you still think you have 1,000 serious moves. Now, this was so important because for many years I have been working with the mantra, be here now. And so this was a very snake eating its tail kind of moment, full circle. Because I had been searching for answers, go, rush, everything was a means to the end, just to realize that what I was seeking, I was at the entire time. The now moment is always with us, and it's the now moment that we can only create in. And so it was a really unique, special moment. And then I had realized that when I had felt that grief, that sorrow, it was because I had pent up, dense energy that was stuck in my body. It released. Did you know that? Did you know your emotions, your memories, they get stuck in your body if you're not taking the chance to explore it, have a partnership with this vessel, with this host, with this beautiful piece of technology that your body, that your spirit energy is partnering with. And so how I was able to come to this moment was this story about power of stillness and connection. I was able to achieve that and through many, many modalities of self-love and healing, exploring different practices. And one of my most favorite ones that actually helped get me here is my meditation practice. So many times I have heard that, oh, meditation is woo-woo, it's not for me. I can't, it doesn't work, I don't understand it, nothing's happening. And I was one of those people too. It's a practice. You gotta keep showing up every day. This is how you train your thoughts. And so to debunk it, I'm gonna actually explain to you what's scientifically happening during meditation. So that way you have no excuses and that you'll understand. Because a lot of times us humans, we fear something because we don't understand it. But once you just pick up a book or just go out and learn about it, talk about it with somebody, because once you understand it, you know how to navigate through that. And once you know how to navigate through that, guess what? Your fear goes away. Fear is a part of life. Change your relationship with it. So, meditation, what's actually happening? So you know when you're sleeping and you go to your different brainwave states, alpha, theta, and delta? That's actually what you're doing in meditation. But right now, I'm in beta wave brain, and same are you. So ego lives in beta, okay? So this is our judgment system. So what actually happens in meditation is that you get to a place of stillness and relaxation with your body that you can shut off beta wave. And your body's awake, but it's not. And so what's interesting is that you're starting to go to alpha, theta, and delta. And so the same places that you go to in lucid dreaming, alpha, theta, delta, is where you're going in meditation. So you can have these transcendental, very visual, very unique experiences, but the difference is that beta, the ego's not there. So it's a much more creative space, and it shows you from a very different perspective, and it's the subconscious talking to you. The subconscious is your long-term storage, and it actually has memories of your whole entire life. Beta wave, it's like you go in and your memory recall is in and out of it, but it's really quite fascinating. We actually have that. So I created an acronym to help us remember. Be authentic today, darling. Be authentic today, darling. So what's really cool is that we can hop on brainwave states and surf 10 on these cosmic waves and learn so much about us. This is a beautiful healing ability in heart, body, mind, and spirit. It turns out all of the ancients, when they were talking about altered states of consciousness, they didn't have the technology or the machines, but now we do. So we hook up an EEG machine to our brains and it maps all of the electrical activity. And so now what we've realized is that what the ancients were talking about were actually these brainwave states. It's not that, it's not weird or mystical. This is natural. This is you. This is life. You don't have a life, you are life. So this isn't weird. Modern day society has us going. going. I'm tired. Are you tired? I'm tired. And so, turns out in heart, body, mind, and spirit, we have this tool. And with meditation, it allows you to release such beautiful tension in your body. And when you get into a space deep enough, you'll start feeling like you're floating above your body, below your body. Your body will start twitching because it's actually releasing energy. But you have to get into a total space of stillness long enough so that all this energy I'm using right now, it gets freed up. And then the body intelligently, on its own, automatically, will start neutralizing, will start healing. And so sometimes you get energetic shivers that feel euphoric. Sometimes it feels fuzzy or tingly. That's all normal. That's signs of an advanced meditator. So when you get there, because you will, you gotta practice. Practice. So, like I said, memory recall is different during these states. So one time I had this experience, and I went down into meditation, and I went back to my birth. What in the world? And so I just have to tell you a tip about meditation. Like I said, beta wave is the judgment system. So when you're in meditation, do not analyze it. Do not judge it. Just observe, third-party observer. Be a curious little child and just watch what's happening. Then when you come out of it, try to make sense of it. Because what happens once you start analyzing it, it'll bring you right back to beta wave. You're out of meditation. Okay? This is a really, really important part. I had to figure that out on my own, so let me give you the cheat code. So, back to that story. So I went, I was back at my birth. And so, I have to share with you, I had a near-death experience at birth. I had the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck 3 times. I was so purple, and if the doctor hadn't, at YouTube, I see you. Hey, survivor, we're here to thrive. And I believe that's what I'm about to tell you. It's really about to touch your heart. And so that's why this is so important that I share it. If it just touches one person, that's all I care. It touches me, I don't care. That's what she said, sorry.
Hey.
I'm an opportunist. Anyway. Focus. I'm super silly. Okay, so I went back to my birth story. So the doctor had, taken the umbilical cord off my neck. Like, it had to be really, really quick. And I had always heard this story in my life, but it was like if it was a second longer. And what was extra confusing is that I was supposed to be a boy. My name was supposed to be Tyler Ryan. I'm all woman. And so it was interesting because there was a lot, I sensed the energy in there, and there was a lot of confusion in this room. No wonder. The doctor and my dad argued with each other, but who would tell my mom? Neither of them did. They just gave me to her. And then she, I'll come back to that. So what was really interesting about the meditation was that I all of a sudden was in the perspective of the baby. And I was being held, and there was like a gray, I thought at the time was a scrub. And I was like rustling in the arms, the baby was upset, and then all of a sudden that kind of gave in, and I fell into the chest. And then all of a sudden, I was the adult holding the baby. And I could see this baby, and I finally understood why my mom called me Rosebud when I was born, because this baby was tiny. She was 5 pounds 6 ounces. She had thick black hair and a rosy, rosy red face. And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. And I watched the same thing happen. The baby wrestled around and then fell into the chest. And then I saw myself in this was in the 80s, so one of those brand new bassinets, but with the clear plastic around the table with the baby card with the info, so I don't get switched at birth. And so I was watching there, and it was just kind of like an aerial view. And I heard this loud, stern voice saying, "You are a survivor. That's who you are." And in that moment, I realized, with this said, I realized, I belong here. And what's important for me to tell you is that, like Cash said, all of us, we just don't talk about it. I always felt my whole life like I don't belong here. I always felt off. And no wonder I had such a problem with my throat chakra. Look at the amazing work that I've done to be able to speak to you. I used to not even be able to sing. Like, I wouldn't want to sing in front of people. Even years ago, my old partner, I used to make him turn his back to me when I would start trying to speak to, like, do it in front of, I wouldn't even let him look at me. I had to be in the other room so he could hear my voice. Transformational. Didn't take that long. Just believe in yourself. It's practice, practice, practice. So I was realizing that moment. I was like, wow, I belong here. I have purpose. And this is all labels, whether it's God, source, collective consciousness, higher self. Whatever that is for you, it's all languages of the same thing. I realized God must want me here. I must have purpose here. I belong here. And so I healed so deeply, and then I got brave enough to tell my mom about this story. And I saw a look on her face that I had never seen before, and she says, "That was me, that was me, that was me holding you, that was me." It wasn't a nurse. It was my mother. We got to share this really special moment together. And so that's how memory recall can be different once you get into shut that off, the beta wave. Humans have the biggest dysfunction of the human condition experience is this rumination and obsession about the past, and the obsession and addiction about the anxious rumination about the future. And those are just your perceptions. They're not even real. Joke's on you. So we cannot create from those spaces. So that's what I'm saying, going back to the start of the talk, was it's only in the now, here moment that we can create. Only in the now. And there are worlds upon worlds upon worlds. And my rich inner life brought me this healing, but I had to create it. We don't have a life, we are life. We are love, we do not need to earn it. This world likes to lie to us. You are love, you do not need to earn it, you are it. And so these beautiful modalities, these beautiful experiences help us remember the connection to us all. Depression is the illusion of separateness. The ego likes to tell you you're separate, but we are all connected. It's all osmosis. Interdependence for the win. And look what we did today. We got to work together. We're master creators of our lives. And so are you. You are the hero of your own story. You know, so unless we channel this mental energy is like water. It has a tendency to scatter. So unless you channel that water and put it into a valuable resource, into a reservoir, into a well, for you to be able to have a replenishing resource, then you can use it to your benefit, but not when it's scattered. Your mental energy is the same. When you're born, you breathe it. That's the first thing when you're born. And when you pass away, the healing that you are not your mind. The healing that your mind does not instruct you to breathe. Your mind does not instruct you to heal. You are regeneration. You are creation. Create, beautiful creators. You are creation. So that was really what I wanted to share with you today, was that control your breath, control your life. Drop into your energy bodies. Stop identifying with your mind. Stop identifying with your mental form. Stop identifying with your body, because in meditation, you have the realization that you are formless. You are energy. You are imagination. You are creation. It's so joyful and blissful, and I want you to experience those same beautiful, happy tears and joys and bliss. And I want you to be a saint with me and continually trip over joy, bursting out in laughter, saying, "I surrender." Bringing us all back to one. The truth will set you free. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Give it up for Alyssa one more time. Absolutely amazing, beautiful message. There's some cards up here if you'd like to follow up with Alyssa, please do.